You think because you're constantly talking to your partner, you're actually communicating. You couldn't be more wrong. In this video, I'm going to expose a truth that caused me years of failure in my relationships. Conversation without understanding your partner's language of need is just an annoying noise that kills your charisma. I've experienced how begging for affection with the wrong words makes your partner want to escape the very sound of your voice. I learned that the art of dialogue isn't about rambling. It's about penetrating the psychological layers of the other person so they feel you are the only one who holds the code to their soul. If you still don't know why your words are hitting a brick wall and your partner is getting colder by the day, it's because you're speaking a language that means nothing to them but weakness. You're about to learn how to turn your words into tools of authority. Step into the unseen. Welcome to the ultimate masterclass in decoding the female mind. Forbidden codes of influence. How you're turning your partner. Cold with the wrong language. Words of affirmation and quality time. The keys to her heart. Welcome back, everyone. Today, we are diving into a topic that is a total game changer. If you master this, it's like finding the master key to your partner's heart. Have you ever felt like you were doing absolutely everything for your lady, working late, paying the bills, buying gifts, but she still comes at you with, "You just don't pay enough attention to me?" Maybe you spent all day finding the perfect anniversary gift, but all she really wanted was for you to sit on the porch for 30 minutes and just talk to her. Or maybe you tell her, "I love you" every single morning, but she snaps back with, "If you loved me, you'd help me clean the kitchen for once." This is the core of the 5 love languages. Dr. Gary Chapman came up with this brilliant theory that every person has a primary way they receive and feel love. The big problem in most relationships? We usually give love in the way we want to receive it, not in the language our partner actually speaks. It's like trying to speak fluent Persian to someone who only understands Chinese. No matter how much you shout, "I love you," they're just not getting the signal. They hear the noise, but they don't feel the meaning. They don't feel cherished because you aren't broadcasting on their emotional frequency. The 5 languages are words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Let's break down words of affirmation first. For a woman who speaks this language, your words are like oxygen. She needs to hear, out loud, that she is beautiful, that she is doing a great job as a mom, and that you are proud of her. For this woman, a sharp criticism or a cold, sarcastic comment doesn't just hurt, it leaves a scar. If your lady speaks this language, you cannot be stingy with your compliments. Don't assume that because you said it last year, she still feels it. She needs those daily verbal deposits to keep her emotional bank account full. A little sticky note on the mirror, or a random text saying, "I'm thinking of you," means more to her than a gold bracelet ever could. Now, what if her language is quality time? For this woman, expensive gifts mean zero if you're always on your phone or distracted by the game when you're with her. She wants your undivided attention. That means 20 minutes of eye-to-eye contact where nothing else exists. A lot of guys think just being in the house is enough. "Hey, I was there on the couch all night." But being physically present while being mentally absent is the loneliest feeling in the world for a woman who values quality time. She needs you to go for a walk with her, to hear about her dreams, and to feel like you are actually listening, not just waiting for your turn to speak. Understanding these languages stops you from wasting your energy. So many men are exhausted because they feel they are trying so hard with no results. The reason is simple. You're pouring money and effort into a bucket with a massive hole in the bottom. You have to find the right bucket. Most of those late-night arguments about nothing, they're actually about an empty love tank. When a woman's love tank is empty, she gets irritable and sensitive. You might think she's changed, but the reality is she's just starving for love in her own language. When you learn to speak her code, you'll be amazed at how fast the intimacy returns. Gifts and acts of service, when actions speak louder than words. Let's move into part 2 and look at 2 languages that are often misunderstood: receiving gifts and acts of service. First, let's clear up a huge myth. When someone's love language is gifts, it does not mean they are materialistic or gold diggers. Not at all. For these people, a gift is a physical symbol that says, "He was thinking about me." The price tag is secondary. What matters is the thought behind it. A weird-shaped stone you found on a hike, or her favorite snack you picked up on the way home, tells her, "Even when I wasn't with you, you were on my mind." If your partner speaks this language and you forget an anniversary or a birthday, it's not about the gift, it's about her feeling like she no longer matters to you. Then we have acts of service. This is huge for a lot of women. For them, the phrase "I love you" is best translated into washing the dishes, vacuuming the living room, or taking the heavy grocery bags out of their hands. If this is your wife's language and you're lounging on the couch asking her to bring you a tea while saying, "I love you, babe," she's probably going to explode inside. She's thinking, "If you loved me, you'd see how tired I am and help me out." For this personality type, actions speak 1,000 times louder than words. Helping with the chores sends a clear message. I value your time and energy, and I don't want you to be overwhelmed. It's the ultimate form of respect. The 5th language is physical touch. And no, this isn't just about sex. For someone with this language, a long hug when you walk through the door, holding hands while walking, or a simple hand on the shoulder while she's cooking can melt away a whole day's worth of stress. Without these small, frequent physical connections, she feels rejected and isolated. She needs to feel your physical presence to know the bond is still strong. This isn't about the bedroom. It's about the everyday skin-to-skin reassurance that you are her partner and her protector. So, the billion-dollar question: how do you figure out her language? Here are 3 quick tips. First, what does she complain about the most? If she says, "You never help me," her language is service. If she says, "You're always on your phone," it's quality time. Second, how does she show love to you? Usually, people do for others what they wish was done for them. Third, just ask her. Sit down tonight, explain these 5 languages, and ask, which of these makes your heart feel the warmest? Once you know, you've got to practice. It might feel weird to give compliments if you didn't grow up that way, but remember, you're learning a new language to communicate with the woman you love. It's the best investment you'll ever make. The art of conversation, how to talk without fighting. In this part, we're moving beyond love languages to the process of talking itself. One of the biggest complaints women have is, "My husband doesn't talk to me." And one of the biggest complaints men have is, "My wife is always nagging." Why does this happen? Because we totally misunderstand the goal of a conversation. For most men, talking is a tool for exchanging information or solving a problem. We're logical, we're analytical, we want a result. But for most women, talking is a tool for emotional release and creating intimacy. When your partner is telling you about a bad day at work or a fight with her sister, your male brain immediately switches into repair mode. You start giving advice. "Well, tell your boss this," or "Why didn't you just do that?" And then you're shocked when she gets even more upset. She doesn't want a solution, she just wants to be heard. She wants you to say, "Babe, I totally get why you're stressed. That sounds really tough." This is called empathy. Until empathy happens, she won't even hear your solutions. So, rule number 1. Before you grab your emotional toolbox, just listen and validate her feelings. Rule number 2 in the art of conversation: use I statements instead of you statements. When things get heated, we usually say, "You're always late," or "You don't care about me." The word "you" is like a pointing finger that puts the other person in immediate defense mode, and once someone is defensive, logic goes out the window. Instead, talk about your feelings. "I feel anxious when you're late because I feel like I'm not a priority." When you talk about yourself, your partner doesn't feel the need to defend. She feels encouraged to help with your feelings. It changes the whole vibe from a battle to a partnership. Another golden technique is the mirroring technique. In serious talks, before you respond, repeat what you heard her say. "So what you're saying is that it really bothered you when I made plans for us without asking you first, right?" This does two things. First, it reassures her that you are actually listening, which by itself can drop the tension by 50%. Second, it prevents massive misunderstandings. So often we respond to something our partner didn't even mean. Conversation is about building a bridge, not throwing rocks at each other. In the final part, we'll see how to make deep, meaningful talks a regular, fun part of your life. Creating sacred spaces and final wrap-up. We've made it to the final part. We've learned how to speak her specific love language and how to use empathy instead of logic during arguments. But the last piece of the puzzle is consistency and creating safe spaces to talk. Modern life moves at a crazy speed. Work, kids, social media, it all drains us. If you don't intentionally set aside time for conversation, you'll wake up in 5 years living with a stranger you don't even recognize anymore. You'll be roommates instead of soulmates. I suggest you implement the golden 15-minute rule. Every single night, when everything else is done, spend 15 minutes with no phones, no TV, and no talk about bills or the kids. Just talk about yourselves. Ask each other, "What made you happy today? What's been on your mind lately? How can I make tomorrow a better day for you?" These simple questions create an intimacy that no physical act or expensive gift can ever replace. It builds a psychological bridge that stays strong even when the outside world is falling apart. Another huge topic is the art of the apology. We all mess up, every single one of us. But a real man is someone who, when he realizes he's wrong, swallows his pride and offers a sincere apology. An apology means, "I value our relationship more than being right." A real apology doesn't include excuses. Don't say, "I'm sorry you're upset because you're so sensitive." That's not an apology. That's an insult. Say, "I'm sorry my words hurt you. I'm going to do my best to make sure it doesn't happen again." This kind of vulnerability tears down walls and makes her want to forgive and love you more. Finally, remember that learning love languages and the art of conversation is a marathon, not a sprint. Things won't become perfect overnight. You'll mess up, you'll forget her language, and you'll fall back into old habits. But the important thing is that you know the path. When your lady sees that you are trying to understand her better, that effort is love to her. In the real world, love is a verb, not just a feeling. Love is the daily choice to learn, to listen, and to sacrifice for the growth of the person you cherish. Thank you for spending this video with me. I hope that starting tonight, you try just one of these techniques and see the miracle it works in your home. In the next episode, we are going to tackle a very sensitive and exciting topic: keeping the sexual and emotional spark alive in the long run. Drop your comments below. What's your love language? And what's the hardest part about talking to your partner? Until next time, speak the language of love. Catch you later.